All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Racist News Network Live. Normally, we have some really cool intro music, but Facebook and YouTube decided they were going to ding me every time I played it and then try to boot me off if I kept playing it. So I don't play it anymore. But Straight Line Performance and Automotive is our, as always, presenting sponsor. We're talking post-Indy racing, post-Jegs All-Stars racing. We have two of the champs from NHRA Division I joining us tonight. Our first guest, talking to in just a sec, of course, Robert Fortuna took home the big check that you all can see in the background, thanks to his son Bob, who set that whole display up, by the way. His Jegs All-Star trophy and the little, I guess you could call it almost like a dinner plaque.
Yeah, it's a qualifying plaque.
Qualifying plaque.
Yeah.
Under the $5,000 prize there. But we're going to talk to Brandon Miller, who won Top Dragster at Jegs All-Stars. And of course, NHRA Division I ended up bringing home the overall championship. So very cool stuff. But of course, let's kick it right off with our buddy, Robert Fortuna. Congratulations on your Top Sportsman Jegs All-Stars.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. So this was your first visit to the Big Go. Besides the 900 and whatever cars that were there, how was it?
Huge.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. Yeah, it was a cool place to be at.
Awesome. Now, also, this is your first appearance with Jegs as well in the All-Stars.
Yep.
So representing Division I and Top Sportsman. So obviously, let's kick it off with how did your week go? You know, how did it start off?
Nice and smooth.
Nice and smooth.
Yes, we had no problems getting there, and then we got set up, went to the hotel, and the weather was perfect. So we actually had a great week. We had 3 good qualifying passes. Not enough to make the main show, but we were there for Jegs, so we did what we had to do.
Very cool. What was it like competing against the best, not just at Indy for the U.S. National itself, but we'll lead off obviously with the All-Stars. What's it like going up against the best in the country in your class?
It was pretty amazing, a little intimidating a little bit, but I just put it in my head that I'm one of them, and I'm there just to make time shots, and you know, if I have to hit the brakes a little, I'm there to do that. But I really try not to let anybody get into my head. So, and we were there to have fun, and that's the way I try to approach it. And it seems to be working well for us.
Very cool. Now, racing in the All-Stars is a complete different game than running at a divisional or national, or even if you decide to go bracket racing, it's a whole different gig.
Yes. Well, yeah, I didn't even realize that All-Stars had a separate points, the way they count their points and stuff. And I didn't know until the end of the year that I had got it.
Very cool. Now, obviously, you represent Division I.
Yep.
Division I took home the championship, the overall championship. So, you know, there's not just you as an individual going out there. There's your team.
Right, everybody else.
People. Yep, that you race with, you know, every week or every other week, whatever it may be. So how about
it was great because I've been racing with them 30 years. You know, a lot of them I've all known from Englishtown back in the day, you know, Karen and then Jackie. We grew up, and she used to be at my shop running our advertising, our travel agency through our shop at the time.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so I've
cool.
known a lot of them for a long time.
Awesome. Now let's go through your 4 rounds of Jegs.
3 rounds.
3 rounds.
Yes.
Me. So round 1, let's go. Let's kick it off there.
Okay, I know I was a tad late. I think I was 49 to his 30, and he broke out. I couldn't run the number. We spun a little bit, but he broke out, so that I got the win there.
Cool.
And actually, it seemed just like such a blur now because everything was so fast and long. Yeah.
All right, round two.
Yeah, we were better at the tree there, right? Yeah, we had the tree there and I was closer, but again, they broke out. I think that's where I've been lucky. It's just these guys are so much faster than me. They have a hard time judging the finish line coming past me, 30, 40 miles an hour difference.
Right.
So I think that played in my favor, but that's something I've been racing with in bracket racing all these years. I always have to catch the slower car. So I got used to driving that way, but now it's turned around and I get to just run it to the end.
That's awesome. All right, final round.
Yes.
Let's hear it.
I missed it big time. I don't know what happened. I can't believe I was that late. And it worked good. We had a double breakout, but thankfully I took less than he did. So, but yeah, it was definitely interesting. And I saw him come by me and there was nothing I can do. And I just, I let it go. So.
Yeah, so now maybe he will, maybe he won't.
Yeah, so and then I
Yep.
saw my light come on, and I think I blew my son's eardrum out screaming in the radios.
Hey, Bobby Jr., can you still hear us or what?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, good. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Like I said, Jegs is a whole different gig, man. It's just, you're racing again. Not that you don't race against the best,
Right.
in your class anyways, but for a fact you are lined up against some of the best. in the
That's
business.
right.
So.
Yeah,
well,
that
very
was
cool.
a little intimidating. So, but then I keep reminding I'm one of them, so I can't be that bad.
Right. You're there.
Right. So.
All right. So now that you're the 2022 champion and top sportsman of the Jegs All-Stars, what does that mean for you for next year? Does that give you like an automatic spot into it?
Yes, I go in as a
Are you
blocker next year.
Oh, okay.
I can't collect points for the team, but I can knock out other guys from other teams. So we'll go next year again.
Very cool.
So we're fingers crossed and we're looking to do that again.
Awesome. That
Yeah.
is very, very cool. Well, obviously, congratulations, on again, the top sportsman championship and Jegs All-Stars at 2022 at Indy. Now, coming back home, what does the rest of your season look like in Division
We got
One?
Maple Grove National in 2 weeks. And then we got, after that, the end of the month is Virginia for the last divisional.
Okay. Now, are you going to do any traveling, or is that pretty much going to wrap it up for you?
It all depends on where we end up from points. I'm number 2 behind Ron Regal, and I would really love to have another championship. So depending on if we have to, and if I find out Ron's going somewhere else, I'm going to have to follow him.
Chase him down the highway, right?
Yeah, chase him and just see if I can do it to, second double up. So
Very cool. Now, where do you sit nationally points wise? Or is that something you're not
20
even?
24, and we looked at it today. Out of 304 people, I'm number 24.
Nothing wrong with
So-
that.
Right. I mean, it's only we went to New England National and then Indy, and then Maple Grove will be 3 for me.
Very cool.
So
Now, for people that aren't familiar with your race truck, why don't you talk a little bit about your rig?
it's a 02 Bickle chassis that I had Montana Brothers on Long Island. They mounted the body and did all the tin work. J8 power motor. James Antoinette builds all my motors. And we actually had a motor last year, beginning of the season, that we hurt because of my mistake with an oil pump belt. So he was able to put my spare motor back together in a week, and we were able to come out with my motor from last year. Select has been doing my transmissions for 30 years, and my converters have never let me down. And with me, I weigh 2465 in the truck, so no nitrous.
Any thoughts of making a change for power adders for next year?
Well, the plan is right now, we bought an 07 Haas Cobalt, and I'm gonna put a big motor in that, and my son's, hopefully, if money goes right, he's gonna run that in super gas next year with a smaller motor we have, and I'm gonna
Right.
race the Cobalt.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, he turned 16 last week, so he'll be able to race it next year. So he wanted, originally the Cobalt was for him, but he wants my truck. So I don't mind. 22 years I've had the truck, so it's nice to get something new.
Nice to put your backside in a different seat, right?
Yes, something different. And he's thrilled to have that. So
Very cool. Now, obviously, so he's done with juniors then.
we might run one more year. We're going to see how things go.
See how it goes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, he'll run at Virginia. So, and then we'll make our decision after that.
Awesome. Well, look who's joining us a few minutes early, and that's okay.
How you doing, Brandon?
He's looking the wrong way, though. Oh, there he is. There he is. He's got a surprised look on his face.
I got two screens here, so I have one's got a camera, one's got a big screen.
Well, let's do this all at one time then. So we just finished up talking about Bob. You can join in as a co-host now if you want.
Okay, great.
All right. So we'll tag team him.
Okay.
So Brandon, obviously, congratulations.
Congratulations.
On Top Sportsman Jegs All-Stars.
Thank you.
You're
Top
very
rank.
welcome. Now, before we dive into your week, you know, a couple of weeks ago, if the picture is clear in my brain, you were beating up everybody in New England in a Malibu door car, right?
I won at the beginning of the season with the Malibu there in May. And then a few weeks ago, I won in the truck at a night show, $4,000 with the truck.
Yep.
And then last week, I won in the dragster at the divisional.
Very cool. So you're racing a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Yeah, spread it around a little bit.
Keep everybody on their toes.
Yeah, or me on my toes.
There you go. Do you ever have to stop and go, all right, what am I in today?
Yeah, not really.
No. Now, this is your first experience at Jegs, is that correct?
Yes, my mom made it a few years ago, but
But as a driver, it's your
as a
first.
driver, yeah.
So we already talked to Bob about his experience. Tell us about, your experience, one at, 3 times the size of a car count wise than what you guys are normally used to. Talk about the beginning of your week.
It's actually an incredible experience with the Jegs thing. Like the whole hype to it leading up is insane. Like the banquet dinner or the Jegs dinner, everyone gets introduced, and then again Saturday morning you're on stage again. They hype it up a lot, and it's almost tough mentally.
Yeah. Do you ever have to stand up in front of the crowd or walk out the doors onto the stage and just kind of go, hi, can I turn around and go back the other way?
I don't know. It was pretty cool doing it that one. I mean, everyone was already out there, so
Yeah.
it was like just joining the team.
Well, yeah, so as I say, it's got to be a little different for you guys. Like I said, normally, that's something you don't normally do, but to be standing on this side of the door going, I gotta walk out in front of all these people, and then you walk out and go, all right, this isn't that bad. I'm down with this. Is that
Yeah, there
pretty
wasn't
much
that
it?
many people.
Yeah, but your fellow competitors, man. You know,
Nah.
I mean,
It
so
was mostly my family out there.
Yeah, it was everyone.
I didn't see anybody. I just focused on one person, my wife, and I was good with the rest of everybody else there.
on the edge of the stage, make sure you don't keep walking.
Oh yeah, I almost stepped off on the back before I realized it.
Yeah, I told Keith Mayers there. I says I'm gonna fall off the stage. Yeah.
Well, cool. All right, so let's dive right into it, man. Let's talk about your rounds. Let's start with round 1. Brandon.
So round 1, I had Rusty Baxter there, and they're all 610 cars. They're all Pro Charger cars, so they're fast.
Right.
It was just basically another bracket race, like, in my head. So I didn't want to overthink nothing. So put a dial on it and try to be close to perfect as you can, I guess.
Yeah. Cool.
So, and the Sunoco vision helps a lot because I can look up at the screen and watch them come.
I didn't even think of that.
It's a good tool. It's better than a mirror.
There you go. All right, second round.
Second round, I had the world champ, Blake Peevler there. I guess you could say I got lucky. He went red. I was 14 on the tree, so I was still in the race. So, but one of my worst reaction times of the weekend. I knew I missed it a hair, but it worked out. I was 1 under. So and then in the finals, I had Division I Al Kenny. He's always tough. So
I was just say, not that we aren't fans of Al Kenny, but that's huge, knocking him out, especially in the final round.
yeah, he won it last year, so he was the blocker. So
Yeah,
it was good. It was good for the team that I beat him because I helped win the
Yes,
points championship too for the team.
right.
made my life easier.
No pressure.
Yeah.
No pressure at all, right?
No.
That's cool. So obviously, when did you see your light come on, or did you find out after you turned off the track?
No, you see the wind light turn on. That was just, I don't even know. I couldn't really even believe it. It was just an unreal feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
You get up there, you get handed the Happy Gilmore check and do the TV interview. How was that for your first time?
I mean, it was a little nerve-wracking looking at the camera, I guess. It was right in front of your face. But Bobby can probably attest to that one. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just so cool to be a part of it all too. So
Well, and especially for both of you guys having all your family there.
yeah, it was just, I don't even know how to explain it.
Right.
It's something you gotta just experience to see it.
I told Bob before we went on, I've been to Indy like 2 or 3 times, but I was a teenager with the last time I went, so you're talking over 30 years ago. And I remember how overwhelming it was just being there with my brother and all his friends who raced. And I can't imagine what it is like now. And I actually spoke with my wife yesterday and said, maybe we can go next year. So hopefully, possibly we'll make it next year.
Yeah, the place is just a massive facility,
Oh, yeah.
like miles of race cars.
Right. Yeah, I think
Square
I
miles of race cars.
want to say it ended up being something like 953 cars total.
I think 942 or 943.
943, I think they
Yeah.
said.
And they have every single class NHRA has to offer.
Right. Yep.
So there's just cars on top, and there's always something different going down the track. It's not like the same 150 cars every day.
Right.
It's just constant. Like the Wednesday when we got there, it was stock, super comp, and super gas. I think that ran all day, and they made 2 or 3 runs, and it took 12 hours to finish them all.
Right. So moving on to normal, if you will, eliminations. How did you make out there?
I didn't qualify, so I went up for the alternate spot, but everyone else showed up, so there was no alternates. So we got an early jump on the ride home Sunday morning.
There you go. So you didn't have to sit in Labor Day traffic somewhere, right? Or well,
No.
not too bad of
No
traffic.
traffic.
There you go. Very cool.
Yeah, that's what we did. So
Bailed out early.
yeah, we left around 1:30 by the time we got done cleaning up and seeing everybody. So
Yeah, I mean, I went my fastest ever trying to qualify. I went 6:46 with the dragster, but the bump was a 39.
And what did I see? Freddie ended up in eliminations. Freddie Perkins ended up. I think he ran a 6:08 in one of the rounds.
6:07 or something like that. And he got that one, didn't qualify him. So
Yeah,
that one
deleted.
cost.
Yeah.
So
Well,
So
very cool. Well, gentlemen, congratulations to both of you. Let's go back up to Bobby for a minute. Bobby, how about the people that help you make your program happen every week?
well, that's my wife, my son, of course. He does he's my labor. He does all my work, unloads, puts the car up on the jacks. my wife makes sure everything is, all the food and all the clothes are packed for us, so we got clean stuff. And then my friend Nick who comes, he helps me with the weather, and he, if I have a problem, he knows what to do to get me straightened out. And of course, the guys, James is always there on the phone for me if I got a question about the motor, and same thing with the guys from Select, always there helping me and texting me constantly, see how we're doing. And, you know, we're lucky, we got a good group of guys.
Very cool. Well, congratulations, Bobby. Brandon, how about you, buddy?
Yeah, I couldn't do it without my parents, you know. They're always there. So they give me an incredible car to use every week. It's just insane.
Now,
I don't even know what to say. Sorry.
no, we already talked to Bobby about plans for the rest of the year, but what do you got cooking?
I'm not sure yet. I may hit a couple bracket races. I don't know if I'm going to go any more divisionals. So we're just going to go seat of our pants here.
We wake up in the morning and see how you feel about going someplace or just chilling out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Very cool.
Nothing,
Well, gentlemen,
nothing set in stone. No real solid plans.
right?
No.
PDRA is still out there.
Yeah, could go to that, but I think they have one in Virginia and one in Colot left. So
Yep. Well, gentlemen, congratulations to both of you. Obviously, Bobby, you and Top Sportsman, Brandon, you and Top Dragster. You know, hell of a job, guys, and enjoy the rest of your season.
Great, thank you very much, Chris.
You're
Thank
very
you.
welcome.
Talk to you
All right,
later.
guys, have a great night.
You too, bye-bye.
All right, talk to you soon. Right, Bobby Fortuna and Brandon Miller, I guess, tonight. Bob, obviously, like I said, won Top Sportsman at Jegs, and Brandon took home the trophy and the big check in Top Dragster for Jegs All-Stars. So NHRA Division I took home the championship. So congratulations to everybody on the team and everybody at the office in Pennsylvania. And awesome job. So Pete was going to be with us. He comes from the state that helped put a man on the moon, but he can't get an internet connection. But that's okay. So we like to pick on him about it. Sorry. But obviously we have a lot to talk about. We're going to get to U.S. Nationals results in just a moment, but released today from Virginia Motorsports Park, the NHRA made a press release on the 5th of September regarding their 2023 racing schedule, and Virginia is no longer on the schedule. They were not on that list after hosting events in 18, 19, and most recently 2022. The 22 edition of the Virginia NHRA Nationals completed their contract with the NHRA for hosting a national event. Soon after, they began discussing the future of the event internally amongst ownership, management, and a number of other parties who were involved. After hosting for 3 seasons of these events, 2 of them having great participation and the last having weather, but did include a contract adjustment. It was apparent that we would not continue unless new terms could be met, as it would only be detrimental to the financial needs to continue to grow Virginia Motorsports Park as a facility. So they are not on the 2023 schedule. However, Joliet, Chicago is back on the schedule. So I guess that's good. It sucks to lose an event on the East Coast, especially a place as nice as Virginia Motorsports Park. But if you renewed your tickets during the 2022 event for 2023, you will see a refund of your payment via the same form of payment that you use to renew over the next 5 to 7 days. If you have any ticketing questions, please call NHRA Ticket Sales Center at 800-844-6472. So that's that. There's going to be more to come out of that, I am sure. So lots of stuff to talk about. They said NHRA Division I took home the championship in the Jegs All-Stars race. So congratulations to Dave and the entire team in Division One. You guys earned it. You guys did a hell of a job. So Monday's final results from the 68th annual Dodge Power Brokers NHRA US Nationals at Lucas Oil Raceway at Indianapolis, aka IRP. If anybody doesn't know what IRP means, Indianapolis Raceway Park. So, Top Fuel, Antron Brown defeated Brittany Force. Funny Car, Ron Capps over Robert Height. Pro Stock, Greg Anderson with his 100th career victory defeated Dallas Glenn. Pro Stock Bike, Matt Smith defeated Karen Stouffer. Top Alcohol Dragster with the double up. Not only did she win Jegs All-Stars, but she also won the event. Of course, I'm talking about Julie Natas defeated Mike Coughlin. Natas is 1-0 against Coughlin in prior events. And she took home, again, the Jegs All-Stars and the U.S. Nationals trophy. So congratulations to Julie. Top Alcohol Funny Car, Sean Bellemure defeated DJ Cox. Cox got away first, but it wasn't enough as Bellemure's Camaro drove right by and pulls steadily ahead for a second Indy win. So congratulations to Sean Bellemure. Comp Eliminator, if you defeat this guy in a final round, you should mark that day, date, and time in history because it's not going to happen all that often. Doug Engels and his dragster defeated the NHRA Division I's Comp Eliminator Master and his Roadster. Of course, I'm talking about Frank Aragona. Engels with the starting line advantage and the win. Engels wins his 7th national event Wally. All have been in comp, and this is his 2nd U.S. Nationals Wally. Super Stock, Peter Diagnolo, in that very cool little Camaro of his, defeated James Carroll in the Dodge Challenger. Diagnolo with the starting line advantage and the win. Wins his 5th national event Wally and his 4th win in Superstock and his 1st at the U.S. Nationals. So congratulations to Peter. Stock Eliminator, Brett Candies in the Ford Mustang defeated Jim Marshall in the Chevy Camaro. Candies scored his 2nd career win with a better package in the double breakout. Super Comp, Austin Williams defeated Jason Kenny. Kenny with a perfect light, near perfect light, but took too much stripe to give Williams a win. Williams wins his 18th national event Wally. This is his 8th in Super Comp and his 2nd U.S. Nationals Wally. Super Gas, Bo Butner in the Chevy Corvette defeated Steve Hoyt in the Chevy Cavalier. Butner with a great light and the win wins his 17th Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series Wally. This is his 2nd Super Gas national event win and his very 1st U.S. Nationals win. Now imagine being a guy that is typically a pro stock racer. Not that that's a bad thing, but he takes down his 1st U.S. Nationals Wally in a super gas car. That's pretty cool. And on top of that, over the weekend at Indy, they did have a bunch of the super gas cars in the barn. There's been no official information released, but the assumption is they're checking electronics. They were checking electronics, looking for who knows what, traction control, the module for the grid system. Like I said, they didn't release any information. Maybe they will, maybe somebody will drop a dime on what it was, but nothing official. Super Street, Doug Woods defeated Ryan Locke. Locke with a slight starting line advantage and runs dead on with a 6, but Wood chases him down for the win. Wood runs dead on with a 1 for the win in a close race. Doug Wood's margin of victory, about 5 inches. Wood wins his 2nd national event Wally, both in Super Street, and this is his 1st U.S. Nationals win. Top Dragster presented by Vortex Superchargers. Rusty Baxter defeated Dwayne Ward. Baxter with a few ticks on the tree and the win. Baxter wins his second national event Wally. Now, this next stat is pretty cool stuff. Again, second national event Wally. Both of them have been U.S. Nationals wins. So an extra huge congratulations to Rusty Baxter. All right, Top Sportsman presented by Vortex Superchargers. Vince Hoda defeated Craig Lyles. Lyles goes red to give Hoda the win. Hoda wins his third national event Wally, all in Top Sportsman, and his first U.S. Nationals win. Pro Mod, Lyle Barnett defeated Chris Thorne, who, as Pete would like to say, lit the cherry to give Barnett the win. Factory Stock Showdown, David Barton in the Chevy Camaro defeated Aaron Stanfield in his Chevy Camaro. Now, they're very incredibly close on ET and on speed. Barton, your winner, 778 with a 6 at 176.77 miles an hour. Stanfield in his Camaro, 778 with a 1 at 176.47 miles an hour. Top Fuel Harley, Jay Turner defeated Bob Malloy. Mountain Motor Pro Stock, Johnny Placino in his Ford Mustang defeated Tony Gillig. And that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is your results from Indy. Now, I have to give a very incredibly huge shout out to Division One stock and super stock racer. Of course, I'm talking about Joe Santangelo. Gave his Jegs All-Star plaque to a young man. I want to make sure I get his name right, so bear with me for just 1 second. His name is Jeg Wheats. Jeg was a guest at the U.S. Nationals, young man who races junior dragsters at Cordova, and also loves his motorcycle, his dirt bike. Met up with Joe Santangelo and struck up a friendship and a conversation at the U.S. Nationals, and Joe had the class to give him his Wally. Jeg has a few health issues that him and his family deal with on a rather regular basis, and I was able to reach out to Jeg, and he's going to be joining us on September 26th, and we are working on having a few little surprises for young Mr. Wheats. So hopefully we can get all that worked out. But big props to Joe Santangelo. That was a class act thing to do. Wouldn't expect anything less from somebody like Joe. But great, quick round of applause to Joe Santangelo for doing that. Those trophies are not easily earned, but it was just a cool thing to do to give that away. So, a couple other quick things. Let's see. It was interesting watching some of the stuff on YouTube. Barry Parker, a stock eliminator racer from Division One, was getting ready to go into the water box, went to start the car wouldn't start. A whole bunch of people jumped in, ended up getting the car rolling. Rolled into the water box, did his burnout. There was an issue down the track with one of the cars that went out in front of him, and Barry wouldn't shut the car off for fear that it wouldn't start again. So he sat there for 3 minutes, roughly, waiting for them to give him the okay to make their hit, and he ended up red lighting, but that's all right. So at least he got to make his pass. But looking further on to our schedule, let's see, September 12th, probably one of the coolest or most historic cars in Division One. Steve Camella and his Hemis, they're going to be coming on talking about winning the Hemi shootout again. They're going to join us next Monday. And then we're gonna go to the opposite end of the spectrum, but I've always been fascinated by the slow stalkers. I just think it's one of the coolest things ever. Ellis Booth is going to be joining us on the 19th. We're going to talk slow stalkers. He was there with his Pinto, and I believe it was his uncle was there with a 4-cylinder Ford Ranger. And I think they have a fleet of 4-cylinder Ford cars. We're going to be talking to Ellis on the 19th. And again, like I said, on the 26th of September, we're going to talk to young Jeg Wheats. Hopefully everything works out. My focus between now and September 26th is to make a few surprises happen with the assistance of a couple of people. I'm fairly confident we can do this. But that's that. Again, Pete was going to join us, but they had internet issues at his home. And I think he's still on the phone trying to get it figured out. But that's okay. We will survive. So I hope everybody had a great weekend in Indy. If you weren't there, if you were watching it on TV, it's pretty cool stuff. I watched some of the stuff on YouTube. Sucks that Virginia Motorsports Park is not coming back as part of the Division I schedule for the national events. Unsure if that will also affect the Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series event. Next weekend at Maple Grove is the Stein Memorial Race. If you have any questions, I suggest you reach out to Rob Keister on Facebook. He's the man that's behind that event. We're going to do our part to help promote it this week. So you're going to see that coming up a lot. But other than that, I think I did it. So, we also would like to give a big congratulations to Vincent and Taylor Nobile on the birth of their baby girl yesterday morning at about 5:54 in the morning. Congratulations to Taylor and Vincent on the welcoming your daughter to the world. So welcome, young lady, and very cool. Congratulations. Parenthood is an awesome thing. It'll be the hardest thing you'll ever do, but it'll be the most rewarding thing you ever do, guys. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to wrap this up, ship this out. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you all next Monday. Again, our guest is going to be Steve Camella, talk about his Hemi cars that they're racing Hemi Challenge and Superstock HA. And have a great night.